Howdy, welcome to Spaghetti Agency, welcome to possibly the most exciting Facebook Live I've ever done. If you're watching the replay, I am just going to share this in a few places, so bear with me a few seconds, but in about probably 2 minutes I am going to share some awesome news from Spaghetti Agency, but just for now I am going to share it into a few groups while everybody catches up. I've got to share it into an event which I've called the Golden Nugget. So I'm going to share it in there. I'm going to share it in a couple of groups that I'm a member of, including Spaghetti Besties. So if you're watching it in there now on the replay, that's how I got it there. So bear with me a couple of minutes just while I share it into the right places, because this is a very, very important night for me and I need to get all this stuff right. So let me just put this into there. Right into the event. So well, if you're just joining me, hey Caroline, hey Jacqueline, hey Sarah, I knew you guys would be first. I knew you'd be first. Thank you so much for your support already. It's just been fantastic so far. I'm just going to share this into a couple of other groups and I'll be right with you. Hey Samantha, how are you? Howdy Jacqueline, awesome to see you in here. I'm just sharing this into a couple of groups that I promised I would share it into because they wanted me to give them the link to make it really, really simple. So I'm just sharing it live. Apologies, I'm nearly there now, one more to go. And then I'm going to tell you something pretty fucking awesome. Something that I've been working on for a while. And I don't know how I've not shared this yet. But it's awesome. Sammy, awesome to see you. Debs, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to try and keep up with all these things on here. Hey, howdy Sarah, how are you? Wow, cool, there's lots of people coming on, this is awesome. Howdy Ben, how are you buddy? I'm going to make sure that I can see all the comments down here. Rob Levick, how are you buddy? Callum, how are you man? You shared it already, wow, you don't even know what I'm going to share. Hey Rob, how are you buddy? James Chisholm is on the house as well. Guys, I've got an awesome feeling about tonight. I've got an amazing feeling about this event. This is going to be brilliant. Howdy Debs, how are you? Heafies, how are you? Awesome to see you online. Rebecca Harrison, James Chisholm, thank you so much for joining me. This is awesome. This isn't some marketing spiel. Howdy Mark Wilkins. This is not some sort of ramp it up and then let people down. This is awesome what I'm going to share tonight. This is something that I'm really proud of. And I'm honoured to have already 27, 28 people live watching me on Facebook. I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes. It's 2 minutes past 8. It's absolutely cool. A lot of people are going to watch this on the replay. Howdy, Rebecca. How are you? I've skipped basketball training for this. It better be good. James, this is better than basketball. This is a three-pointer coming right up. Howdy, John Davis. I hope the lights are good for you. James, Mark Wilkins has bought a popcorn. Carl Ford in the house. Hazel, how are you? I told you I was going live. You literally just messaged me and I said, I can't talk. I'm going live. This is, wow. I don't get nervous. And when I left the house, Joe said, are you nervous? And I said, I'm not really nervous. I'm not really nervous. Howdy, Lisa. Howdy, Caroline. I'm just full of excitement, you know? I really want this to work. This has really just been the brainchild for a while. Thanks for the compliment on the beard. That's lovely. Howdy, Laura. How are you? I've not seen you for ages. Right, we've got a lot of people live. This is cool. The social media cowboy is better than any basketball match, says Callum. And Callum knows his stuff. Callum, I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, buddy. Howdy, Neil Porter. Neil Porter, you're going to love what I'm about to share. This is the next level. Nikki Reed, wow, we've got some celebrities in the house tonight. Mike Freddie Gordon, Vanessa O'Neill. Oh my God, I've attracted the crowd. Jesus, I better get my A game on. Hayley Hilton, oh my God. G'day Laura, how are you? Right, I'm going to go. So the replay viewers, apologies for all the hellos, but this is a Facebook Live you're watching right now, and I just wanted to say hello to everybody there. Wow. You ready? I'm ready. Joe Sirianni's in the house. I can go now. My business partner's online. Let's do this, yeah? Let's do the golden nuggets. You want the golden nuggets? Let's do it. 4 years ago today, 4 years ago to the exact day, it was a Sunday, and I'd just run the two castles. I'd run from Warwick Castle to Kenilworth Castle, And I think it was the first time I'd ever done it. And it was a massive achievement. I was elated. I should have been the happiest person alive. I trained for it. I was a keen cyclist and a runner. So 4 years ago today, I was probably hurting right now. My legs were in pain. 4 years ago today, I should have been happy. But I didn't have the life I wanted. 2013 was an incredibly interesting year for me. And those of you that know me well will know my story that 2013 changed my life. In 2013, I quit my job, I quit my marriage, and I started my own business with someone I met on Twitter. It was a phenomenal year. But I want to take you back to 2009. I want to take you back to 2009 because in 2009 something incredible happened to me, and that is the whole reason for tonight. 2009, I was a van driver for a wine merchant. A lot of you know this story. I'm not going to tell you that story. And I really enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. But you know when you don't feel like you're in the right place? You know when you feel like there's something else? There's something else for me, and this isn't it. And I'm happy, and I like driving the van, and I'm listening to my music all the time, and I'm really happy, but it's just not quite what I'm supposed to be doing. That's how I felt. 2009. Life was good. Got married in 2009. Had a little, in 2005. Had a little boy in 2006. Had a mortgage, had a house, had a real job. Everything should have been just right, but it just didn't feel like it. Luckily for me, in 2009, I was asked to go to a wine tasting, and I met a guy that would change the trajectory of my life. And it's only been the last few years where I've looked back and realised that meeting that guy, his name was John, has completely changed my life. I went to a wine tasting and I didn't want to go to it. I was a van driver. I really, really enjoyed driving a van. I didn't enjoy wine tastings. I didn't enjoy wine. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed drinking it, but I wasn't an expert in it. And I didn't like the stuffy world. When my boss said, you've got to go to this wine tasting tonight, I was like, fuck that. I don't want to go. But when you're employed, you kind of have to do some of these things, so that's what I did. And I met this guy called John, and he said, how's the website doing? How's the warehouse doing? How's business? And I said, do you know what, honestly, it's not great. And we could do with a bit more business. And he said to me, you should join Twitter. You should join Twitter because it's the best way to market your business. Now, when I look back now, that was really crap advice because this guy was not smashing it on Twitter and still is not smashing it on Twitter. And I doubt very much he ever had any business from Twitter at all. But for some reason, for once in my life, I listened to someone else and I just got on with it. And I went home the next day, well, I went home that night, but the next day, the very next day, I logged on to twitter.com and I signed up Underwood Wines to Twitter. And I spent 3 months working incredibly hard to build a Twitter audience, only to fail 3 months later. Now, I am the hardest working person I know. Hands down, no one works harder than me that I've met. I am a hard working person, and I can say that hand on heart. I worked incredibly hard at Twitter, and it didn't work, so I quit. I logged off, I gave up, I said it wouldn't work, and I quit. Absolutely, hands up, honest, I was rubbish at it. I was awful at Twitter. This event's called the Golden Nugget. And this is a little story. The big thing's coming next. Stick with me. In 2010, it may have been the end of 2009, I found something incredibly important, and it was a pure accident. Back in 2009 when I joined Twitter, I was tweeting a few times a day. I had a laptop. I was just trying to tweet. I was trying to sell. I was trying to make it work. I hadn't told my boss I was tweeting. But someone called me into the office and they said, things are going to change. We're going to change our phones. What phone do you want? And I thought, do you know what? I never ever ask for what I really want. But I really want an iPhone. I absolutely want an iPhone. I know I won't get one, but I want one. And that was the end of that conversation. And a couple of weeks later, I found the golden nugget. This is my golden nugget. This is my first ever iPhone 3GS. This phone, this actual phone, changed my life. Because this phone gave me access to a whole new world. This phone stopped me from being a van driver. It stopped me from being just a van driver. It turned me into Todd from Underwood Wines. It turned me into a social media guy in Warwick. It turned me into the person that the BBC would call. It turned me into the person that Mary Porter's followed on Twitter. It got me to the Houses of Parliament. This phone is my golden nugget. For 3 months I was selling on Twitter and failing miserably, but all of a sudden I told my story with this phone. And 4 years later, sat in an office, 2 minutes from the house with my pregnant girlfriend, who is a life-changing person, phenomenal person. That phone changed my life. But it wasn't just that phone. It was learning how to market a business on Twitter. It was learning how Twitter worked. It was learning how social media worked that changed my life. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. Thank you so much to everyone that's joined. I've got loads of people online, which is awesome. Back in the day, driving the van, I was doing a lot of stuff on social media. And small businesses in Warwick, where I am right now, was like, Todd, how are you doing this stuff? Why are the BBC contacting you? How have you got into the paper? Why are you writing advertorials for Warwickshire Life? How has this happened? You're just a van driver. And I told them. And I kept telling them. And 2 minutes before I came live on this live stream, I told someone I'll help them later on. I love helping people get this stuff. I love helping people get more out of their marketing. It sounds stupid, but that's what I'm put on the earth to do. I'm absolutely here to do that. And that is why I didn't feel happy as a van driver. That's why when I had a mortgage and a wife and a marriage and a little boy, that's why I wasn't happy, because I wasn't doing what I was put here to do. Right here, right now, 4 years later, I'm happy. So I've been training people to use social media for a long time. You guys know that. Some of you are watching now have been some of my biggest followers, fans, supporters. Guys, I just love you. I thank you so much for being here at 8:10 on a Friday, when you should really be enjoying yourselves and spending time with your family, but for some reason you've tuned in to watch me on a phone in my office. Because I've been training people and teaching people this social media stuff for a long time, because I really, really wanted to do it. It's my why. Everyone has a why. Why do you do what you do? My why is I genuinely want to help everyone get this stuff. It's my thing. I get it. It works. I do it and it works. So I started training people. When I was a van driver, I would literally load up my van early in the morning. I would drive it to the local hotel called the Warwick Arms, which is still open now. I would park it out the back, full of wine, having loaded it very early in the morning, and I would train people. I would train them to do social media, and I charged them £20 a head. And even back then, we sold out. It was brilliant. I worked with two girls, one called Karen, one called Christy, and we were called Warwick Tweet Up, and we trained small businesses in Warwick to do social media. And at that point, I felt happy. And then I got back in my van, and I wasn't so happy. But luckily for me, I met an amazing girl. I met Jo. Jo is online now, and most of you know Jo is the other half, or the better half, of Spaghetti Agency. We're having a baby in July. I met her on Twitter in 2010. Luckily for me, Jo always said to me, you are not just a van driver, you are more than this. And she gave me the guts to push this thing a bit harder. And in 2013, when my life disappeared, crumbled, it all disappeared around me, all the stuff you think you're supposed to have, a mortgage, a wife, a house, all that shit, all of a sudden disappeared. And I didn't have anything other than a smartphone. Now, I'd moved on from this smartphone. It wasn't an iPhone 5 back then, which has just been discontinued by Apple. Thanks for that, Apple. I can't even get this one to log on, but I digress. 2013, I quit my job. And the day I quit my job, I won an award for all the social media stuff I've been doing, and I knew I'd landed. I knew I'd landed where I was supposed to be. Now, we weren't called Spaghetti Agency, but I just felt like I'd absolutely got where I was. And for a few months, we didn't do any training. We ran people's social media, which I always vowed I would never do. We did stuff that I always belittle people for doing. My friend Stuart Morn, who might be watching this on the replay or live, he used to run people's social media, and I used to say, oh man, running people's social media sucks. Because the business owner, they're the person that should do their social media. They get it. They've got the passion, the drive, they've got the why. When they put content out online on social media, it works. Doesn't work when you do it, and it doesn't work when other companies do it. So I was massively passionate about training small business owners to do it, and he was making money doing it for them, and I just thought, this sucks. So we were training, but when we started Spaghetti Agency, or Joe's Correctional Facilities it was then, we ran people's social media, and I started doing stuff I didn't really want to do. I remember the guy, his name was Tom. Tom was the coach and he helped us out. I went to an expo and he had a brain, a human brain, in a 3D puzzle. Now those of you that know me quite well will know that I'm really good with puzzles. It was all scattered on the table and I made it into the brain and I beat a neurosurgeon who'd been there before. I like puzzles. I won the competition, we won some coaching with him. We had several sessions with Tom. And one of the sessions Tom said, "Why aren't you doing social media training? Why aren't you doing it?" And I said, what if people don't come? What if they don't turn up? Because that would really hurt me if people didn't turn up to my training workshops, because it's literally heart on the sleeve stuff. I absolutely love these training workshops, but what if people don't come? And he said to me, "Todd, you run a fucking marketing agency. Why wouldn't people come?" And I tell you what, he was so frigging right, because since then the workshops have been sold out every single month, because it's what we do. And I'm so happy. So what is this all about? Why is there 50 people watching me on Facebook Live? Why am I in the office? Why am I not commenting on any of this stuff? Because I'm staying focused. I will reply to all the comments on this Facebook Live. I've been training people now to use social media for around 7 years, but there's a problem with it. There's a big problem with it. And it's a problem that I've been trying to work out for a long time. Joe's given me most of the solutions to this problem, but I've just never sorted it out. I'm getting there, Joe. Our workshops sell out every month. I will only train 15 people at a time. They sell out. Most people can't make it. You know how it is. Someone's at a workshop all day long. They've booked the date, they've booked the time. Your diary is busy. Think of your diary now. Think of your diary next week. You can't always fit it in. It just doesn't work. But I want to help as many people as possible. And for ages I've been trying to work out how I can do that. And now I've got the solution. This summer, I am running the Spaghetti Agency Social Media Summer Camp. This summer, for 7 weeks, I am running a fully intensive social media summer camp. And you can join me from the very device you're watching me from right now. You don't have to come to Warwick, Leamington, Manchester, London. You don't have to leave your house, and you don't have to do it when I'm doing it, because it's completely online and it's completely when you want to do it. Because I get it. I don't have time to go to stuff. I'm a busy guy. I'm a family man. I've got a daughter on the way. I've got a business. I get it. So I've created something so that everyone that's wanted to get involved with the Spaghetti Agency can get involved with it. I'm so excited to tell you all about it. It starts on July the 18th. We're going to have, I'm reading some notes, so forgive me because there's a lot of stuff. We're going to have 7 live Facebook Live sessions like this, but with proper, strategic, chunky, biteable, tangible tips. Content that I share in real life to small business owners. Stuff I know works. I am going to share with you over the next during the 7 weeks in the summer. We're going to create downloadable content. We're going to give you stuff that you can take away and use. We're going to build homework into it so you get shit done. If any of you have been on my workshops, you know I have a follow-up call. I have a Skype call, and you have to attend that Skype call because it's the accountability. I don't teach any of this stuff because I want to make money out of it. I just don't. I do it because I know how much it hurt for 3 months when it didn't work. And I want it to work for you, and I know it works. So the accountability is important. So it's going to have homework in it. We're going to have bonus live Q&As throughout the week. You're going to be part of a 7-week Facebook private group with no one else in it, where I'm going to train 7 times, proper sessions like this, live Q&As, downloadable content with homework. And because it's a Facebook group, you can post questions in there for the whole 7 weeks. That's what I'm going to be doing this summer. The Spaghetti Social Media Summer Camp is on. July the 18th it starts. We are going to start right there. We've got 7 sessions. We're going to start with exactly what I started on this live stream, with storytelling, and why that is so important. Because for 3 months all I did was sell, and it was the story that sold that business. It was when I told the story that people took an interest in us. Then we're going to move on to Twitter, because people tell me Twitter is dead and they're talking out of their arse. It really isn't. You just got to go in the right places with it. We're going to look at Facebook, the areas of Facebook that I know works. This week I found out something amazing about Facebook, something that's so easy, that doesn't cost you any money. I'm going to talk to you about stuff like that. I learn this stuff all the time. I'm just engrossed in it. I'm going to talk to you about blogging. I wrote a blog that 20,000 people read and it changed my life and it took me to the Houses of Parliament. It helped me to meet Joe. Blogging is incredibly powerful, but it's brilliant for your business. It will drive traffic to your business, and I'm going to be talking about that in week 4. In week 5, we're going to be doing email marketing, because email marketing has generated me nearly £100,000 in profits. Absolutely true, no bullshit whatsoever. Did the maths earlier. Email marketing is amazing. And then we're going to look at some automation. And then in 7th week, the most important week, in week 7, we are going to that's 7, that's 8. 7th week, we are absolutely going to wrap it up into a proper system so that you can take it away and work on it. And because it's in a private Facebook group, you can download the whole thing. It's all going to be downloadable stuff. This is basically going to be everything I've learned from that night when I went to that wine tasting. This is going to be everything I learned when I picked up this golden nugget, this iPhone 3GS. When I suddenly realised how social media worked, I'm going to put all of this into the summer. Why? Because I fucking love doing this stuff. And I really, really, really want to help people do it. I know you can't come and see me in Leamington Spa. I know that you're busy. I know that if I book a workshop on June 23rd, it's fully booked anyway and you can't get there. I get it. How much is it? £77 for the next 2 weeks. That is £11 a week. It's ridiculously cheap. Claire McTurner, my business coach, has told me not to sell it at that price. She's told me absolutely do not sell it at that price. It's way too much effort. It's too cheap. Don't do it. I'm sorry, Claire, I'm doing it because it sounds great. £11 a week. So for 2 weeks, it's going to be £11 a week. You buy it once, the whole thing is one. I'm going to drop it into the comments right now. I'm putting it in there. There it is. There's the link. Joe, if you can pin that link because you're logged in, that would be great. For 2 weeks, I'm going to give you the early bird thing. You get everything. You get all the access. You get all the live stuff. You get all the downloadable stuff. You get the live Q&As. You get me there all the time for 7 weeks to ask stupid questions and silly things and stuff that's happening, all that sort of thing. I'm going to put it all in there for 7 weeks. July the 18th, we kick off. And this is going to be amazing. I know it's going to be amazing because I put my heart and soul into it. I always put my heart and soul into it. 4 years ago, I was a very unhappy person. I was not in the right place. I was on my way there, but I wasn't quite in the right place. Right now, I am in the right place. I'm going to share with you all the stuff I've learned, all the things that make our business work. We've grown this business to where it is right now, 6-figure business from a sofa with 2 iPhones, with all the stuff that we're going to teach you in 7 weeks. And that's not the usual spiel and shit. If you know who I am and you've met me before, there is absolutely no bull. It's all beef. July the 18th, I would absolutely love you to join me in this session. So, put the link in there, Joe. Hopefully you can, in fact, if I can post it from me, I can probably pin it. There we go. Put it in there, if I can. I'm still logged in as me, so I don't know if I can pin it. So I'm going to pin the link in the post now that you're watching, which has now disappeared. We'll post it in the comment. It'll be actually in the description above. Thank you for joining me. I've seen so many comments. It's been ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sure you've all been taking the piss and bantering and stuff. No bull, all beef. James Chisholm. Thank you for joining me. Please join me this summer. This is going to be incredible. I have no idea when I'm going to repeat it. It's just something I want to do. And I know we're having a baby on July the 13th. I know it's 5 days after the due date, but you know what? There's never, ever a right time to do something. There's never a right time to start a family. There's never a right time to quit your job. There's never a right time to get divorced. But you know what? I did it all in 3 months. So fuck it, I'm doing it again. This is when I roll. This is how I operate. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm now going to catch up with all these amazing comments. I've seen loads of hearts. It really does mean a lot. It means a lot for someone that was just a van driver to be sitting here launching something this big. Because for me, this is massive. And for you, this will be massive if you join me. July the 18th, it absolutely kicks off. There are only a few, obviously, early bird tickets because Claire McTurnan, my business coach, will kick my ass. And I know she's not watching live. So I've only put a few on. So if you go to that link, there are a few there. And then the proper tickets start in 2 weeks. So you have a couple of weeks to get in there. Laura, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be incredible. If you've been on my workshops before, this is beyond that. This is a proper full-on session with us. God, that was quite nerve-wracking. This really means a lot to me. And I've put my heart and soul into this as I do with everything. And now I've put it out there. And if you're that type of person, you know how vulnerable I am right now to put that out there. Please help me make it a success. Please tell people about it. Please share this. Please get involved with this. I honestly will give my absolute 100% effort into this. This is what Spaghetti Agency is all about. This is what I'm all about. It's making people get the most out of social media, because I know how it felt in 2009, 2010 when I sucked at Twitter, when I was rubbish at social media and when I quit. And it was only when I found this golden nugget that I realised it's more about telling your story than selling. And that's the whole basis of everything that we do and everything I'm going to teach you during the summer camp. Thank you so much for joining me. It means the world to have people join me on Facebook Live. I'm going to go back now and reply to every single comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the summer camp. Yeehaw.